Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Mimi Dollars Collection. So guys, today let's make this beautiful beaded bag. Okay, this beautiful bag, it has lines on the body. It's a cylinder, triangular shaped bag, or whatever you call it. So materials used, I'll be using my fishing line 0.7, my scissors, and my clear crystal beads or sugar beads. Okay, so we will be starting with 6 beads. Okay, I'm going to insert all my 6 beads into my fishing line. So I'm adding all my 6 beads into my fishing line. I'll pick up the last bead and I'm going to cross it. Okay, so I'm crossing, making sure the ends of my fishing lines are equal. Then I pull. So this is the first ring. We are going to put 5 beads on the right fishing line, 5 beads on the right fishing line, because we are making rings of 6. I'll pick up the last bead and I'm going to cross it over. All right, so when we cross, we'll have the second ring of 6. Now my front fishing line or the left fishing line, I'm going to insert it into the next 1 bead in front. So I insert it into the next 1 bead in front. Okay, just like that. And on the right fishing line or the back fishing line, I'm going to add 4 beads. So I'm adding 4 beads to my right fishing line and I'm going to cross with the 4th bead. That's the last bead. Okay, we are still adding up to 6. We are making rings of 6. All right, so this is the 3rd ring. I'm going to insert my front fishing line into the next 1 bead in front. Okay, into the next 1 bead in front. So insert it into the next 1 bead in front, and on the back fishing line I'm still going to add 4 beads. Okay, so we are still adding up to 6. Okay, we are making rings of 6. So this is the first stage. So I'm adding my 4 beads and I'm going to cross with the last bead. That's the 4th bead. Okay, and I'll cross it and pull. I'll go into the next 1 bead in front and I'm still going to add 4 beads. Okay, so I'm going into the next 1 bead in front, and on the back fishing line I'll still add 4 beads. So I'm going to be adding my 4 beads. So we are going to go round the circle and then we'll keep adding 4 beads. So at the first stage, we want to have 7 rings of 6. That is the first stage. So I'm going into the next 1 bead in front and I'm still going to be adding my 4 beads to the back fishing line. I'll add my 4 beads, then I'll cross it over. Now we are at the end. I'm going to insert my front fishing line into the last 2 beads. That's the last bead on the line and into the side bead. All right. So I'm going into those 2 beads and we're about to end this stage. So our fishing line is in 3 beads. Okay, therefore we are going to add 3 beads to complete the ring of 6, and we are done with the first stage. So please take note, your first stage must have 6 rings of 7. I don't know if that makes sense. Okay, we did 7 rings of 6 rather. So please take note of the edge beads, okay? So if you see the ones I'm pointing at the edge beads, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Please take note of the edge beads, okay? Then between every edge bead, we have 2 beads that forms the V side. Okay, between every 2 edge beads, we have the V side. So please take note, okay? Now, on my front fishing line, I'm going to go into the next 1 bead in front. That is, our fishing line will be in the V section of the shape. Can you see that? So we are in 2 beads, and we are going to add 4 beads to our right fishing line. So I'm going to be adding my 4 beads, and I'm going to cross with the 4th bead. So I'll cross with the 4th bead, and then I pull. Now we are going into the edge bead, okay? We are going into the edge bead, just 1 bead. That is the edge bead. So I'm going to, our fishing line is in 2 beads. Then we are going to add 3 beads, okay? So at this stage, we'll keep adding. We started with 4 beads, and then we'll keep adding 3 beads. So I'm crossing with the 3rd bead. Please watch it carefully. We are now going into the V section of the shape, okay? We are going into the next 2 beads. Into these 2 beads, my front fishing line, I'm going to insert it into the 2 beads on the V section of the shape. I'll pull it out. Then I'm going to add 3 beads, okay? So like I said, we'll be adding 3 beads. See, when we get to the end, then I will show you what to do. So I pull. We are now going into the edge bead. We are going into the edge bead. And on my right fishing line, I'll still add 3 beads. I'll add 3 beads, then I'll cross with the 3rd bead. And now I'll go into the V side of the shape. That is the next 2 beads. Into the next 2 beads. And on my right fishing line, I'll continue to add my 3 beads. Then I'll cross with the 3rd bead. I'll go into the edge bead. Into the edge bead, and on my right fishing line, I'll add 3 beads, okay? So please watch carefully, because every step or every stage of this bag is very important, okay? So I'll pull it out. All right. So this is how your shape should look like, okay? The first ring is 6, the second is 5, the third is 6, 5, 6, and 5. This is how your shape must look like. So you will have 6, 5. That is how you are going to form the round shape, okay? So I'm just going to weave that, and we are at the end. We have 6 on the left, 6 on the right. So our fishing line is in the last 2 beads, okay? So we are going to end this with 2 beads, because we have 6 on the left, 6 on the right. Therefore, we are ending this stage with 2 beads to make 5 rings in the middle. I hope you understand. So we are ending with 2 beads. Then I pull, And this is how your shape is looking so beautiful. Now we are going to weave our mat. We'll start with 3 beads, then we continue with two beads, okay? So we are going to weave our mat. Make sure your fishing line is in 1 bead, okay? On my right fishing line, I'm starting with 3 beads. You know how we weave our mats. I'm starting with 3 beads. And I'm going to cross with the 3rd bead. I pull. But at this stage, we are going to fold it upward because we want it to have lines on the body like this. We don't want it to be just straight and flat. We want to make lines on the body. So we are going to fold it up like this, okay? So you need to hold your fishing line firm. So our front fishing line is going to go into the next 1 bead in front. So the front fishing line is a fishing line that is away from the body of the mat, okay? And on our left fishing line or the back fishing line, we'll keep adding our two beads. You already know how we weave our mat. We'll cross with the 2nd bead and pull. Make sure you are holding it firmly so that it will stand like this. If you let it lie down flat, you are going to get it straight, but we don't want it straight. So I'm going into the next 1 bead in front, and I'm going to add 2 beads on my back fishing line. So I'll add up my 2 beads, and I'm going to cross with the 2nd bead. So I'll cross with the 2nd bead. So we are going to continue to weave our mat this way until we get to the end, okay? So at this stage, the first stage, we are going to weave the mat completely, all right? So I'm going to continue to weave it like that. See, when I get to the end, I'll show you what to do. So look at the shape. It's not going to be straight because it will form lines on the body of the bag. So we are at the end, and this is how the shape looks like, okay? This is how the shape looks like. We are going to go into the last bead, all right? I'm going into the last bead, and I'm going to go into the side bead to complete the mat. I'm going into the side bead. I'll pick up 1 bead, then I'm going to cross it over, and I'll pull it, and we are done with the first stage of the mat. As you can see, the mat is looking all beautiful. Now we are going to continue to weave our mat, but we are going to leave out 5 beads, okay? So we'll weave until the 6th bead. Then we'll leave out 5 beads, okay? Make sure you are leaving out 5 beads. It gets why. All right, so we'll continue to weave our mat starting with 3 beads. We're starting with 3 beads. We'll cross with the 3rd bead and pull. So I'm just going to continue to weave this mat. See, when I get to the 6th bead, 6th to the last. This English now, wow. So I'm just weaving my mat. I'm adding 2 on the back fishing line. And then I'm going to cross it with the 2nd bead. I'll cross it and pull. And this is how the shape is looking like. You just continue to weave it this way. Please, you have to take your time because this is not straight, okay? So it's going to take you some time to do it. This is not the usual straight mat. So you have to take your time to weave it, okay? So I'm just counting to make sure I have 6 beads left. That is going to be the opening of the mouth, or the mouth. Hey. So that is going to be the mouth. So I'm going into the last bead. Please make sure you leave 5 beads untouched, okay? So I'm going into the last bead, and into that same fishing line where I inserted, I'm going to add 2 beads. Okay, I'm making sure I have my 5 correctly. So we are doing the reverse because we want to turn and increase the mat. So I'm crossing with the second bead. I pull it out. So we are going to continue to weave the mat back and forth. So look at this, the shape. So we are going to continue to weave this mat back and forth, okay? So I'm starting with 3 beads, and I'm going to cross it with the 3rd bead. Then I'm going to go into the next 1 bead in front, and on my back fishing line, I'm going to keep adding my 2 beads. So when I'm okay with the length, I'm going to join. You make half on one side, half on the other side, then you join them together, okay? This is how beautiful it looks. So I'm done, and I'm going to join both sides together, okay? I'll join both sides together. So you can make any number of your choice. It's up to you. So I'm going into 1 bead on the left side with a new fishing line, and on my back fishing line, I'm going to add 1 bead. With that same fishing line, I'm going into the first bead on the other side of the bag. I'll pull it so you can get something to support your bag. Sorry. I'll pick up 1 bead, then I'm going to cross it over. Okay. So we are joining the bag. It's very simple to join a beaded bag. So I'll pull it. Now, my right fishing line is going to go into the next 1 bead in front on my right side. Same with the left. Okay. So I'm going into the next 1 bead on both sides. I'll pull it. Then I'll pick up 1 bead, and I'm going to cross it over. I'll cross it, then I pull. So this is how we are going to join this back till we get to the end, okay? The right fishing line into the next 1 bead in front on the right side. The left fishing line will go into the next 1 bead on the left side of the bag. Then we'll pick up 1 bead, put it on any side of the fishing line, and then you cross it over. Make sure you are pulling very tight, okay? So I'm going to weave that. When I'm done, I'm going to show you the finished work, okay? So guys, we are done, and this thing looks like a talking drum in my village. So this is how beautiful it looks. We are going to make the cover of the bag. So I'm leaving out the last bead. We are going to start at the last but 1 bead. You can make any cover of your choice. Okay, so we are just going to weave a mat, the same thing we have been doing to form the cover of the bag. So you start with 3 beads, you cross with the 3rd bead, okay, Then your fishing line, you insert it into the next one bead in front, and then you add 2 beads on your back fishing line. Okay, so on my back fishing line, I'm going to keep adding two beads, then I cross it over. So you are just going to weave a mat, like that, until you form the cover of the bag. Then you stop at the last but one bead. Okay, and then you keep weaving. But this thing looks like a talking drum. Oh. So I'm done, and this is how beautiful this bag is. So cute. This is how beautiful the bag looks. So because we are using sugar beads, you can manipulate the cover of your bag anyhow you want. Okay, so I just folded it in a nice way. You can fold it whatever way you like. You know, sugar beads is so cute. Working with sugar beads is cute. Okay, now we are going to fix the back handle. Remember, I told you to leave 5 beads, okay, when we're making the round side of the bag. So you are going to use the middle beads. You look at the square that is in the middle bead. You leave 2 on the left, 2 on the right. Then you look at the square that is in the middle bead, okay. So we are going to be using that square to weave a mat for the back handle. So I'm going into 1 bead on that square. I'm going to pick up my 3 beads and I'm going to insert it into the fishing line. So someone says she doesn't know how to make the back handle this way. Please watch carefully. You understand it. We are weaving a mat. Okay. So my right fishing line will go into the next 1 bead on that square. Okay, and on my back fishing line, that is the left fishing line, I'm going to keep adding my two beads. So we are weaving a mat, but we are weaving round a square. Okay, I pull. So we are going to go into the next 1 bead on that square. So I'm going into the next 1 bead on that square. And on my left fishing line, I'll keep adding my 2 beads. Please, this is very simple to make. All right. And then I'll cross with the second bead. Like this. Then I'm going to go into the last bead on that square. All right. Into the last bead on that square. I'm going to go into that last bead. I'll pull it out. Then I'm going to go into this bead that is facing upward. Okay, the bead that is facing upward, that is the first bead we inserted when we added the first 3 beads. Okay, so I went into that bead and I'm going to pick up 1 bead and then close it up. So we are done with the first stage of the handle. Moving on our left fishing line, we are going to be working on the, so we are beading round the square. Okay, so on my left fishing line, I'm going to add my 3 beads. I'm adding my 3 beads and I'm going to cross with the 3rd bead. Okay, I'll go into the 2nd bead on that square. I'm going into the 2nd bead on that square. And on my back fishing line, I'll add 2 beads. Then I'll cross with the 2nd bead. I'm going into the 3rd bead on that square. And on my back fishing line, I'm going to add 2 beads. I'll add 2 beads and then cross with the 2nd bead. I'm going to go into the last bead on that square. I'm going into the last bead and into the bead that is facing upward. Into this bead, I'm going to pick up one bead and I'll cross it over. So we are going to weave half on this side, half on the other side, then we'll join it in the middle. Because I'm doing a beginner friendly method, I don't want to work up your brain. So we'll make half on this side, then we'll join it in the middle, how we join the bag. Okay. So when I'm done, I'll show you how it looks. So I'm done joining and this is how beautiful it looks. So the little bit that was left, I just made a small mat and I inserted it on the back handle. So this is how cute this bag looks. If you look at the back, it has lines on the body. The cover of the bag, you can manipulate it whatever way you want. You can choose to put a magnetic lock. You can fold it like this anyhow you want. So guys, I thank you guys for watching. Please kindly like, subscribe, and please leave a comment. Do not forget to turn on your notification bell button so that you get notified each time I drop a video. So guys, until I see you in my next video, it's bye.